Hello, and welcome to this week's special presentation titled Lining Your Pockets with Safety and Comfort. My name is Patrick France, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest, and today we're going to take a look at how to find some great winning candidates that will allow you to rest easy at night. As we all know, the market has been pulling back over the last few weeks due to geopolitical fears and uncertainty. Well, as we also know, market corrections lead to great buying opportunities. So today, we're going to show you how easy it can be to find some strong, reliable candidates. With that, let's go ahead and jump into the software. And now that we're in the software, we always like to start off on the home page. As we can see, the major indices are sharply lower here today, and we have 3 red lights in our color guard. Also, we notice we're still in a confirmed down situation, and our current trend is also down. Now, if we take a deeper look at the MTI, there's some key levels we want to keep an eye on here. Historically, when the MTI gets to the range of 0.6 to 0.7, that generally shows the market's starting to look for a bottom. Now, as we've seen in the past, just because we get to those levels does not mean the market's going to go up the next day. So we want to be prepared, and that's what we're going to do here today, is get yourself ready to go for when the market does start rebounding. Back in February, a colleague of mine, Jim Penna, did an excellent presentation and demonstrating why the indicator relative safety is so important to any portfolio. Today we're going to take that one step further and show you not only how to find some of the most fundamentally sound companies out there, but also ensure that they are resilient to downturns. One of the easiest and quickest places to find candidates that you would be interested in buying is the viewers, and more specifically the stock viewer found on the left-hand side. Now, by default, the stock viewer shows the highest VST stocks at any given time. But if we're looking for the safest stocks in the market, then all we simply have to do is click on the RS column header at the top. And just like that, with one simple click of our mouse, the VectorVest software has instantly identified the most fundamentally sound companies in the market out of almost 8,500 companies. And here we get candidates like Ulta Beauty, Lulu, Dollar General, and many more. And as we know from historical data, the companies with the strongest fundamentals continue to go up over time because they're consistently growing their earnings quarter over quarter and year over year. To see what we're talking about, let's go ahead and take a look at the graph of the top 10. So I'll come up to the upper right and click on Graph All. And as we can see, we have a pretty standard layout here, with price shown in candlesticks at the top. Below that, we have the relative timing, or the RT, and then below that, the earnings per share. And as we can see with Ulta Beauty, the earnings have been consistently rising over the last year, and the major analysts expect them to continue to grow their earnings at least for the next year. But as we look at Ulta, we can see that it has been affected by this most recent sell-off or correction that we've seen in the market. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the next stock on the list, EEFT. Now this is a great looking candidate here. Its earnings have consistently grown over the last year, and look at the price pattern. It's a nice steady rise from bottom left to upper right. This is exactly the pattern that we favor here at VectorVest. If we move to the next, we get Lulu, which has been a little choppy, but overall still rising from bottom left to upper right, and their earnings are consistently growing. And next we get COO. And as we can see, it was steadily rising for quite some time, but since about the beginning of the year, the earnings have started to drop and move sideways. No surprise here that if we look at the price action, it's also moving sideways, giving us some concern at this time. And we can notice the similar price action with all the stocks through this list. Because as we all know, earnings is the engine that drives stock prices higher. As I mentioned at the beginning, we not only want to help you find the safest stocks in the market, we also want to give you that peace of mind of knowing that your stocks are resilient to market downturns. And here at VectorVest, we have the perfect indicator to help you do that. So we'll go out of the graph by clicking on the X in the upper right and get back to the stock viewer sorted by relative safety. From here, we can add one more layer of cushion to our portfolio by utilizing a very powerful indicator found only here at VectorVest called the Comfort Index. If you're not familiar with the Comfort Index, it's a stock's ability to resist severe or lengthy price declines. Essentially, it's analyzing price performance, so by definition, it would be considered technical analysis. And to add it, we simply go to the sort box in the upper left, choose the primary sort, and select RS times CI, or Comfort Index. We'll go ahead and say OK. Now the first thing you may notice is that the list is completely changed with the exception of EEFT. And that's because we are now adding the benefit of fundamental evaluation with the power of technical analysis as well, giving us an even bigger edge on the market. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the graph of these. So we'll come back up to the upper right and click on Graph All. And starting off with EEFT, as we talked about previously, this is exactly the kind of stock that VectorVest would advocate for to consistently make money and outperform the market again and again, because we see the rising price from bottom left to upper right, and the rising earnings once again from bottom left to upper right. So let's go take a look at the next stock. ERIE, once again, bottom left to upper right, and bottom left to upper right. And as we can see, look at what price has been doing as the market's been pulling back since the beginning of the month. Price has been steadily hitting higher highs and higher lows, while the market is falling to lower highs and lower lows. By adding the power of CI to your portfolio, it will allow you to rest easy at night, knowing that your hard-earned cash is invested in fundamentally sound companies and that they've proven themselves time and time again to be resilient to market pullbacks. So let's go take a look at the next stock. Mercury Computers. As we can see, it has pulled back a little bit off of its highs set around the beginning of May. But just like we saw back here, even when this stock did pull back a little bit through that rough patch we had last fall, it showed its resiliency and bounced back quickly when the market started rebounding off to new highs. And if we go take a look at the next, EHTH, another one. As we can see, nice steady rise from bottom left to upper right, and relatively unaffected by the sell-offs that we experienced through the second half of last year. It was able to maintain its price performance, and then when the market started picking back up again, we saw this stock exploding off to new highs, proving itself just once again and demonstrating exactly how powerful the Comfort Index can be. Go take a look at the next. AutoZone, another stock. Nice steady rise from bottom left to upper right. And just like we've seen with other candidates from this list, even when the markets had their rough patch throughout the second half of last year, AutoZone was able to manage its price performance and slowly move higher as the market was pulling back. Then, when we saw the market start to rebound, AutoZone was able to take advantage of that as well and continue to run up to new highs. Same with AUDC, Team, NEO, another great looking candidate, CYBR, and NSSC. All of these stocks not only have the fundamentals that continue to drive prices higher over time, but now have the added benefit of knowing that these stocks are resilient, which in turn can help remove your emotions out of your investing, which overall will lead to more successful investing. And now once again, just to reiterate, we don't advocate running out and buying these stocks right now, because as we saw on the homepage, the markets are moving lower and we have 3 red lights in the color guard, and all of our trends are down. And to see these indicators more in depth, we can always take a look at the market timing graph. And as we can see, a clear picture of the market steadily falling here over the last month or so, and also our key market indicators with the MTI, the buy to sell ratio, and RT still continuing to fall. But as history has shown time and time again, our key indicators are getting to the levels that historically have shown the market is starting to look for a bottom. So this is a time that we want to start preparing ourselves for when that bottom does come. So that way we don't get caught off guard and we can be one of the first to take advantage of that buying opportunity, which we'll always point out to you in the daily color guard reports. But rest assured, by utilizing this strategy of combining the power of relative safety and comfort index, can help line your pockets with safety and comfort when the markets seem filled with uncertainty and instability. Once again, thank you for your time here today. And if you have any questions of what we have covered, please don't hesitate to give our support a call.